What is up, everybody? Got another top 10 list here, and this time it's going to be my 10 favorite albums from 1996, my birth year. I've been meaning to do this one for a while. A lot of cool albums, pretty tough to narrow down, but got them ready. As usual, we'll give some honorable mentions at the end, so here we go. Starting off my list, number 10 is going to be Black Thrash Attack from the band Noir. This is their debut full-length album. These guys are from Norway. Heavy Bathory influence, some Slayer, Creator, Destruction. So if you like those bands, check these guys out. All three guys who played on this album are pretty notable within the black metal scene. Blasphemer, Aggressor, Apollyon. Pretty big names in that scene. But the track listing, there's 10 songs looking at this. Sons of Hades, the opening one, is awesome. Conqueror is great, and probably the title track are my favorites, but pretty solid album here from start to finish. Black Thrash Attack, number 10. Coming in at number 9 is The Killing Kind by Overkill, probably the most consistent band in metal. They really don't have a bad album. This one here is really good. The first two songs on it, Godlike and Battle, are amazing. Two of my favorite songs by them of all time. And looking at the rest of this, probably Burn You Down to Ashes, my other favorite on it. But a lot of solid stuff here. It was their first album to feature guitarist Sebastian Marino and Joe Comiu, or however you pronounce that. But good guitar work. Of course, there's Bobby Blitz on vocals. D.D. Verney on bass. So overall, really good solid album here, The Killing Kind, number 9. Coming in at number 8 is The Secrets of the Black Arts by Dark Funeral. Killer Swedish black metal right here. Super evil, heavy, brutal stuff. This is their debut full-length album. They did have an EP before it, but this is the full-length debut. Lineup at the time was Black Moon and Lord Ackerman on guitar, Themgaroth on vocals and bass, and Equimanthorn on drums. Awesome lineup. I'm looking at the track listing, 11 songs. My Dark Desires, favorite on the album for sure, maybe my favorite song of theirs of all time. The title track and probably The Dawn No More Rises are my three favorites, but great classic black metal album here, The Secrets of the Black Arts, number 8. Coming in at number 7 is The Great Southern Trendkill by Pantera. Dimebag Darrell on guitar, Rex Brown on bass, Vinnie Paul on drums, and Phil Anselmo on vocals. Really good solid album here, even though I probably would say it's their weakest of the 90s. Still really good stuff though. Looking at the track listing, some favorites I would say are War Nerve, 13 Steps to Nowhere, Suicide Note Part 2. Floods is really good, of course has one of Dimebag Darrell's best solos of all time. Living Through Me, Hell's Wrath is a really good underrated one. Final two songs on the album are even really good. The Underground in America and Sandblasted Skin. So overall, I do think this is a really, really dang good album. The Great Southern Trendkill, number 7. Next up at number 6 is Malice, Our Third Spell by the band Gehenna. Really great Norwegian black metal right here. One of my absolute favorites. As far as black metal bands who mix in the symphonic stuff, Gehenna might be the best. Still sounds very evil and dark. Keyboards are amazing by a girl named Sarkana. She did them on the first several albums of theirs, and she also did some songwriting. The two main guys of the band are Dolgar and Sanrab, both doing vocals and guitar. They formed the band. Sanrab is the only original member left currently in the band. But looking at the track listing, there's 10 songs, a lot of great stuff from top to bottom. But some standouts for me, I would say, are the opening track, She Who Loves the Flames, Touched and Left for Dead, Ad Arma, and probably Manifestation. But again, this is a really good, solid black metal album. Highly recommend it. Malice, Our Third Spell, number 6.
What exactly
Coming in at number 5 is the Dark Saga by Iced Earth. Awesome album here. It's their second with Matt Barlow on vocals. John Schaefer is there on rhythm guitar, of course, laying down a ton of awesome riffs. Probably the best rhythm guitarist in metal, as I've said multiple times. Randall Shaver on lead guitar and Mark Prater on the drums. Looking at the track listing, a lot of really good stuff here. A couple favorites, I would say, are the title track, Violate, and A Question of Heaven. Vengeance is Mine is great too. The Hunter, top to bottom, really good album here. Great blend of power metal and thrash metal. A lot of good stuff from these guys. This one, definitely one of their great classic albums. The Dark Saga, number 5. Next up at number 4 is Refresh the Demon by Annihilator. Yes, an Annihilator album that's not one of the first two. There's a lot of great ones, people, including this one right here. It's one of their absolute best. Jeff Waters on guitar, vocals, and bass for this album. His guitar tone and playing is so amazing. He actually did have another guy do some solos, Dave Davis, whoever that is. But most of it done by Jeff Waters. Drums by Randy Black. Just super killer classic thrash metal right here. Looking at the track listing, a lot of awesome stuff, 11 songs, but the standouts for me, I would say, are the title track, Sin Kill 1, The Pastor of Disaster, that's amazing, and probably Ultra Paranoia, but a lot of other great stuff on here as well. Highly recommend you go check this album out if you're a thrash metal fan. Great classic stuff here. Refresh the Demon, number 4. Next up at number 3 is Welcome My Last Chapter by the band Vinterland. Great melodic Swedish black metal here. When you talk about the best Swedish black metal albums, this one definitely has to be in the conversation. Don't have it on CD or anything, but I do have a patch of it for my vest. Pretty cool stuff there. And this band, they released 2 demos, then this album, then nothing else after. So this is their only full-length studio album. They are currently still together today, so maybe they'll put something else out in the future. Hopefully that happens, who knows, but looking at the track listing, 9 songs, solid from top to bottom, but my 3 favorites, I would say, are the opening track, Ardon Our Glory, for sure. That's amazing, and I'd probably say A Castle So Crystal Clear, and As I Behold the Dying Sun. But awesome top to bottom, the keyboards sound great, awesome dark atmosphere on this, a lot of awesome riffs, just overall, amazing album here. Welcome My Last Chapter, number 3. Coming in at number 2 is the Cainian Chronicle by the band Ancient. Really awesome Norwegian black metal here. A mix of kind of melodic style black metal and some gothic type elements in there. Really cool sound, very dark, evil sounding stuff. Part of it's like a concept album talking about Cain and the demon angel Lilith, some vampire stuff. Cool material here. Looking at the track listing, a couple favorites I would say are the Cainian Chronicle Part 1, The Curse, Part 2, Lilith's Embrace, and probably Part 4, Disciples of Cain. And other than that, At the Infernal Portal is a really good one. Prophecy of Gehenna is how he pronounces it. I was wondering this in the past. Is it pronounced Gehenna? Gehenna is how this guy pronounced it. So, yeah, but those are really good songs. Looking at the people who played on it, Afazel is kind of like their band leader. He did guitars, bass, but the guy who did the vocals on this, his name's Lord Caiaphas. He's actually Brazilian, so he's not Norwegian. They had a girl named Kimberly Gross do some background vocals as well, and some lead vocals too. She's been on several different band stuff, but Ancient is a disgustingly underrated band. They should be much bigger than they are, but I'm a big fan of these guys. Ancient, the Cainian Chronicle, my number 2 album of 1996. Before I get to my number 1, as usual, going to give some honorable mentions real quick. No particular order with these, but A Blood Red Path by Gates of Ishtar was close. Far Away from the Sun by Sacramentum. What else we got? Pig Walk by the band Stuck Mojo, which is kind of like rap metal, but the riffs are super heavy. Rich Ward on guitar, who's a cool guitarist. The Graveyard by King Diamond. Philosophum, or however the heck you pronounce that, by Burzum. Has a couple of really good songs on it, but yeah, pretty close, I guess. Nemesis Divina by Satyricon, Overnight Sensation by Motorhead, and Tunes of War by Gravedigger. Honorable mentions, so on to my number 1. And taking the number 1 spot is Dusk in Her Embrace by Cradle of Filth. Amazing band. They're from England. Pretty tough to put an exact label on them. This album, I would say it's extreme metal with black metal and gothic metal influence. Mix of both of those styles. Danny Filth, of course, on vocals, has a really super unique voice. The sole constant member of the band leader. Stuart Anstis did the guitar on this, and the guitar playing is fantastic all the way through. And Nicholas Barker did the drumming, which the drumming is amazing. Looking at the track listing, there's 9 songs, of course, Heaven Torn Asunder and Funeral in Carpathia, probably the best songs, but title track is great. Malice, Through the Looking Glass, A Gothic Romance, really all these songs, Haunted Shores, all of it's great. But Cradle of Filth, amazing band. Some people try to hate on them. I don't really get it because I think they're great. All their stuff for the most part is awesome. This for sure one of their best albums and definitely my favorite of 1996. Dusk in Her Embrace, Cradle of Filth, number 1. So that does wrap up my ranking, my top 10 favorite albums of 1996. As usual, I want to know what you guys thought. Hear your rankings in the comments if you want to give 5 or 10. Let me see it, and until next time, thank you for watching.